Hey everyone, in this Space Marine 2 classes guide I want to walk you through the 6 available classes and help you decide which one you may want to progress, or maybe you want to use a mix of them. So what we've got here are Tactical. Master Tactician as Tactical Space Marine utilises a wide arsenal of weapons, making them accomplished at both close and range combat. So the Tactical Space Marine is a good all-rounder. You can do a bit of up close fighting or fight from a distance. They can also use a variety of weapons, so they are quite fun. I'm going to show you these in more detail in the armouring hall in a moment as well, but we'll just do a quick summary of each. Next up, we've got the Assault Space Marine. Death from above. An Assault Space Marine crushes their foes with devastating melee blows perfectly timed to ensure victory. So these guys are quite fun. They've got a big jetpack on their back, and at times you can activate that, jump high up in the air, and then slam down with this massive hammer and decimate your enemies with them. So they are quite interesting. So we'll have a little look at those in a minute as well. We've got the Vanguard. Infiltrator, a Vanguard Space Marine, specialises in liquidating vital targets in furious close-range combat. So you've got them going up close. They can use a grapple to get up close to the enemy real quick and then smash them to pieces. So they're quite interesting as well. Next up, we have the Bulwark, which is a very popular class. Sword and Shield. A Bulwark Space Marine defends both the members of their squad and the ideals of the Imperium. So this is, your classic warrior, big old tank, sword, shield, in they go, and they're going to be fighting up close. So you're not going to do any range damage at all with the Bulwark. Generally, you're going to be just up close and personal. Then we've got the Sniper. So Deadly Shadow. A Sniper Space Marine is a master of stealth who targets their enemies with pinpoint accuracy from hidden vantages. So the idea with this guy, although you can go up and fight a little bit up close, you're mainly going to be at distance, using your sniper rifle to pick off enemies at distance. You've also got a cool cloaking ability that can be used from time to time where you can go completely invisible, so that can be quite nice as well. But I'm going to talk about that as well because it's not the easiest class to play, and I'll explain why. Last up, behind my head, for Duck, Heavy. So Walking Strong Point, a heavy Space Marine's storm of firepower can devastate any enemy force with vicious efficiency. So this Space Marine is basically geared to loads of firepower, so lots of bullets flying around with this guy, so they are quite cool as well. But don't be thinking this is one for up close and personal, this is one for distance, but loads of heavy firepower going in, whereas someone like the Bulwark is more scrapping up close and personal. So let's come out of here. So I'll just select one of these for the minute, and what I'm going to do is just leave this squad so I don't annoy these players, and explain where you would go to change class and have a little look at those class weapons and different armor and stuff up close and personal now as well. Okay, so the way I got to that class screen was I used this on the battle barge. So if you interact with this and then you pick a mission, that may or may not come up depending on how it jumps you into a game. So sometimes it seems to show you picking the class and sometimes not, for me anyway. But where you would normally go to change your class, and we've got a bit more info there, is in the armoring hall, which is over here. We'll just walk you through the different classes. Now, I'm not going to show you Marine customization here. I'm just going to talk about the classes because I have a separate video on customization, because you can make your Marines look very different. So we'll interact with this, and just to show you, check this out. So we've got some different styles of Space Marine here, as you can see. And these are our different classes that we were talking on. So, things that you can do in here, obviously you can pick your Marine that you want to be, what type of class, and the way you would pick that is you'd select it here and then just back out. So once you've settled on the one here, if I backed out now, I would become the Vanguard, but it would take a moment to load, so I'm not going to do that until the end. So let's talk about the loadout here and the different classes in a little more detail. So Tactical was the first one here, and the Tactical has the skill here, the Auspex Scan, which reveals enemies in the selected area and makes them more vulnerable. So that's quite cool. Another thing you can see here is the armor class. So this is how good the armor is of this one. And armor class seems to vary between 3 and 2. So you can see a couple of them are on 2, most are on 3. So the good old Space Marine armor is pretty tough regardless, but certain classes have a little more protection than others. Now, above here, this is the level. So this tells you what level this current Space Marine is at. And the more you play Operations or Eternal War, the more you will get, these start leveling up. Sorry, these ones are going to level up, I think, in the mode I'm in at the minute, Operations. So you can see this one's level 4. So I've played that one. I've played that one. I've not played Vanguard yet, so I need to play that one. I've done Bulwark, Sniper a little bit, and Heavy. So as you jump into an operation, If you complete that operation, you will earn XP, which will then start leveling up your Space Marine. What that basically does is it will enable you to have cooler looking armor. So this helmet I've got here on the Tactical Space Marine wasn't available at the start. So if we look at the Vanguard, I had no helmet on to begin with, so I had to jump in looking like this. I could change the chapter, so I could have different chapter colors, but I couldn't add a helmet until I boosted up the XP of the other classes that we've got here. So as well as that, you've also got the ability to pick different loadouts. You've got 1, 2, and 3. And if you flick between them, L2 and R2, you can see that the weapons change slightly. Only really the standard issue weapon here is changing. But you can see as we hover over that, we see the spec of that weapon, as we can see. So there's different things here. We've got higher range on some of them, so you can see range 7 on the first 2, but the heavy one's slightly smaller range, but maybe slightly better on other aspects. Like I'm just seeing what it's better at. Rate of fire is much higher than on some of the other ones. So it's up to you which one of those you go for. Sometimes as you progress through, though, you'll also be able to upgrade these weapons as well. So that's kind of a different video, but I just wanted to say that you're not stuck with kind of like the core version. You can boost the stats of this. So if I jump into here, so for example here, I could change to what's this, master crafted pistol if I wanted to spend 15 of my requisition points. So that's another option that you can do there. So we've got that class there. So like we said in the first point, the tactical is a good all-rounder because we've got that ranged weapon. We've also got the chain sword here. That's going to be good for going up close and fighting, but also from distance as well. So pretty cool Marine to go with. The downside is when you go into operations, only one of you can be a specific class. So you jump in with a group of 3 and you have to decide who's going to be what. The downside with the tactical is it's the default. So a lot of people will jump in with this one and then you'll have a bit of a conflict and one of you will have to change to a different class. So next up in the classes, we've got the Assault. And the difference here, if we spin round, is the Assault has this massive jump pack on the back. And that is what it uses to jump in and smash dudes to smithereens with the Thunderhammer. So you can also see that we've got a simpler thing here. We've got really a pistol and a hammer, so we're not so good at range here. And if we look all the way through, your choices are really pistol or heavy bolt pistol. You can change the hand weapon though. So we've got the Power Fist, which is a classic Space Marine weapon. We've got the Chain Sword or the Thunderhammer. So remember, as you use these, as you go through the class, they will level up XP. So if you really want to power one of these up, you might want to focus on a specific loadout. So we've also got the jump pack ability here, which enables enhanced dashes and powerful jumps resulting in new combat moves. So you can't jump all of the time. You can just jump as that charges up. There's like a center sort of button that charges up. When that is fully charged, you can use it. Next up, we have the Vanguard. So this one's a bit of a mix as well. So we've got the bolt carbine here, or a different bolt carbine here, or the melter rifle. So you're free to pick whatever ones. You've not got as powerful a sort of weapon here. So we've got the combat knife there, or the chain sword. But that's it. You can't have a power fist with the Vanguard. Standard issue bolt pistol here. But they use the grapnel launcher. So this enables you to propel to an enemy and then perform a diving kick. Now, one thing to bear in mind with these dudes is, although they're fast, you've got this armor class is only set at 2, so they're not as well protected as the tactical or the assault. So that's the Vanguard. We've then got the Bulwark. So this one is a really interesting class because you get to block with your shield, which will protect you from a lot of damage. You've also got a bolt pistol and a chainsaw, but you're really going to be up close and personal with this one. It's got one of the best skills, though, I think, which is this chapter banner. And when you fire that out, you can only do it when it charges, but it restores the armor to all squad members in the area of effect. So if people know that you're the Bulwark and they know what the skill is, you can get people out of a lot of trouble from time to time because they can quickly recover their armor, which is really cool. So that's your options there. You can see you can also have the Power Fist with the Bulwark, which I don't know why. I think the Power Fist always looks really cool on these. So you can go with those as well. Next class is the Sniper. So the Sniper's got the Bolt Sniper Rifle, the Stalker Bolt Rifle, or the Las Fusil. So again, you want to be looking at these and debate which one you like the look of. Firepower of 7 on the Bolt Sniper Rifle, but you're going to be sort of trying to fight from distance. And the downside with the sniper, and why I said it was difficult, is sometimes enemies are sort of generated from behind your location, and if you're staying at the back, that means you can sometimes get jumped by enemies. However, you do have the camo cloak ability, and if you fire this, it will conceal you until your next attack breaks. So if you're in real trouble, you can fire that off, move to a new location before you shoot again. So that works quite well. They're not really designed for being up close fighting. They can do a bit, but because of the lower armor class, you're going to be a little more sort of open to being damaged if you're going to play this class. So you can see that's the main thing that changes here, is the type of weapon here. Last up but not least, we have the heavy class, and this one you can see we have the heavy bolter. So we've got rate of fire is quite fast with this one, and loads of bullets available, so magazine capacity of 450. The bolt pistol as well as a backup, and you're free to use that as you go. And if we flick through, we've also got this heavy plasma incinerator, the plasma pistol, and the multi-melter or the bolt pistol. So lots of different options here. Armor class is pretty good again with the 3, and we've got the iron halo. It creates a powerful barrier blocking all range damage. Now this, for me, I think it was a limiting range damage to begin with, so I think you get a protection of about 10% of range damage, but basically anyone who's in that area of effects will get a little bit of protection from range damage coming in. So it's also worth looking at the perk tree for each thing. As you progress through each class, you may have perks that can be activated, and you can spend your points on these. So you can see this one, if I bought this one, killing 10 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. Now that would actually be quite handy for the heavy one, because you're fighting from distance. It's often quite difficult for you to get up close and execute, particularly if you're playing with players that are fighting up close and personal. So particularly if you're not communicating, that could be a very useful perk if you are intending to play the heavy class a lot. So there you go, my friends. That is the 6 classes. Remember, once you're happy with the one that you want to pick, just come back out and then have a little go. But bear in mind, the assault is often used by other players. When you're then ready to play, you go into the other battle barge one, pick a game mode, and then you should be good to go. But if there is a conflict, it may progress you or tell you there that you need to switch. One other thing I just forgot to tell you is, as you progress the classes, you can upgrade things. So it's a little bit dark here, but on my back there, the pack that I've got is a little bit different to the pack that you start with, because I've reached a certain level with this Space Marine. So as you progress, your armor will get cooler. That one on my right, Pauldron, was for getting the Super Duper Edition, so that was part of the DLC stuff that I got as part of that. So don't worry if you haven't got that. There you go, my friends. Hopefully that was good for you. Thumbs up, much appreciated. Any comments welcome, and I hope that classes guide has helped you figure out which class you want to play. Do let me know in the comments which class is your favorite, and if this helped you out. Thanks for watching.